Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You girls are unbelievable. I was just doing something and then some girl hit my subscribe button and she brought me back on YouTube because she couldn't get enough of my Descendants and Zombies videos. She knows what she has to do to get a new Descendants and Zombies video. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button, and wherever I am, no matter what I'm doing, I could even be on a date, and I will leave my date behind for each and every one of you. I will say I can't do this anymore, and I will come home, throw my keys on the kitchen counter. I will take my coat off. Sometimes I won't even take my coat off, and I will jump on this podcast for each and every single little girl who hits the subscribe button, who hits the like button, and believes in Descendants and Zombies just as much as what I do, because we share in the same passion. Believe you me, I've done it before. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button or the like button, and when I have time, yours truly will return. Your Prince Charming will be here with a new video for Descendants and Zombies whenever your heart desires. Because I feel as if the podcasts that are creating Descendants and Zombies content for you aren't really living up to par and following through with their promises of providing you with Descendants videos. I mean, how many Descendants videos do you watch with AI footage from all the original movies promising you more Descendants videos? So you take their further word and you hit their subscribe button, and then months pass and you don't see any videos uploading on their channel. Then you're like, you know, what the hell is going on here? There are no Descendants videos on this channel. This channel sucks. And then you unsubscribe. So I just wanted to be a guy who found his way in through the doors of Oradon Prep and wanted to create videos for each and every one of you whenever your heart desired. I wanted to give you my take on Descendants, and I wanted you to believe that every dream that you ever had was achievable and was possible, no matter what that dream was. If you wanted to be a swimmer, you could be a swimmer. If you wanted to join the gym, you could join the gym. If you wanted to join track and field, you could run faster than anybody on the track and field team. I really believe in you guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but I really do believe in you. And I believe in the passion that the Descendants stars have for the Descendants franchise. That's why Kylie Cantrell, ever since she was just 9 years old, used to watch the original Descendants movies. And she loved them so much. And that's what got me about Kylie Cantrell. How much of a passion she shared to want to be a part of the Descendants franchise. And correct me if I'm wrong with this statement, but I think that Kylie Cantrell is so deserving of having the honor of portraying characters in her favorite franchises ever since she was a child. I really believe that Kylie Cantrell has this unbelievable passion and this burning desire to want to entertain each and every one of you. So should she be subjected to all the criticism that she is receiving? I really don't think that she should be subjected to all the criticism she is receiving, because she is beautiful. And she is so dedicated to each and every one of you. So can we please leave Kylie Cantrell's point of view out of the conversation, or anything negative having to do with Kylie Cantrell out of the conversation? Her friendship with Ruby Rose Turner is incredibly beautiful. It is really inspiring to me. And if Kylie Cantrell ever came to hang out with me, I would want her to bring Ruby along for the ride, because there's just something about Kylie Cantrell that can't do without Ruby Rose Turner, and I respect Kylie Cantrell so much that I would want her friends to be a part of her life, no matter what her choices were that she would make in her life and our relationship. And that's what a lot of guys couldn't prioritize about Kylie Cantrell, was the fact, and even Ruby Rose Turner too, was that, you know, her friends were the most important thing that she had in her life. And I really like that about a girl. I don't say this a whole lot, but I like when a girl has a friendship with other girls that stand the test of time and is unbreakable, and nothing comes between that girl and her friends. And I love that about a girl. I love how strong a girl can be on times. I love how fearless a girl can be on times. And some idiot guys who are in relationships with girls will say, you know, you spend too much time around your girlfriends, they're crazy, you need to break up with them. I've never ever said that to a girl, because I've loved their friendships with other girls, and I love when they put it on display and they flaunt themselves around with their girlfriends, because it's just so beautiful. Because I love seeing them have fun. And that's one thing that I've always loved seeing the Descendants cast have, is a lot of fun. Because if I don't see them having fun, then I feel as if, as a fan of the franchise, I've been let down. And that's why I've always wanted to be the director, and I've wanted to have creative control over the Descendants franchise, because I've just wanted them to have a whole lot of fun. And I think that more creative freedom should be bestowed upon the Descendants cast. More of a creative energy should be given to them. They shouldn't just always have to listen to a producer or a writer about how they feel they should perceive themselves. I think there is no better feeling in the world knowing that you contributed to your character's traits, how your character is represented, and how you want to present your character for how you feel. Because off of camera, Ruby Rose Turner is the most gentle person, the most gentle soul that I think I've ever had the honor of talking about on a podcast. I love her so much. And it's beyond me why so many critics will always criticize Ruby for whatever choice she makes in life. You know, at 11 years old, Ruby Rose Turner came out in public and she said that she loved girls and she couldn't understand why all of her girlfriends that she could have had a relationship with had relationships and love in their life and she didn't. But she somehow found contentment with that and still found time entertaining each and every one of you. And her parents, Natalie and Andrew, were incredibly supportive of her for that decision to come out at 11 years old. And ever since I saw that and read that publicly and saw those interviews, I had a lot of respect for Ruby. And I've followed Ruby's entire career from the very beginning, from her days on Coop and Cammy Ask the World, which was a show that only lasted 2 seasons. It really broke my heart that show only lasted 2 seasons, because that show could have really gone to the heights of unprecedentedness on Disney Channel. And then, of course, Gabby Dern and the Unsittables Kylie Control show only got 2 seasons. I watched Kylie's show on YouTube. It was called Hello Kylie, and all of you know that. Of course, you saw that on the video package that they did for the Worlds Collide tour. I thought that was really cool. You know, how a girl on YouTube could have a gap in her teeth and the most beautiful complexion and just come on YouTube and say Sam and Cat is cool and get 1 million subscribers. That is incredible. I wish I could come on YouTube and upload one video and just say Sam and Cat is cool, which would take me all of 5 seconds, and not have to break it down why it was cool and state my reasons and my logic behind why I thought Sam and Cat was cool. Upload my 3-minute video and get 1 million subscribers because of it. All Kylie Contrell ever did was sit on a bed with a pink comforter and say Sam and Cat was cool, and everything blew up for her overnight. And I am incredibly proud of Kylie Contrell. She is the princess of my dreams. And if there ever was a princess of Auradon, if Auradon could have a princess, it would have to be Kylie Contrell. But I would also take Ruby as the princess of Auradon too. That's why I would like to be a prince like Eugene from Tangled and just be walking through the forest one night and stumble across the castle in Auradon, attend Auradon Prep, and attend the ball at the masquerade ball at the Auradon Castle and fall in love with Ruby. And believe you me, if I only had until midnight to win the heart of Ruby Rose Turner or Kylie Contrell, I would do everything in my power to ensure that I left that masquerade ball that night in the Auradon Castle with the heart of Ruby Rose Turner, because she is just an incredible person. What I love about Ruby so much is she's so incredibly kind. That's what's always stood at me about Ruby Rose Turner for forever and always, is just how kind she is. I have never heard Ruby Rose Turner exemplify or express frustration with anything that has ever befallen her in her life. She's never been frustrated about relationships. She's never been frustrated with her friends. She's never been upset with her career, how she was let go. The only thing she's ever done is cry, and that really breaks my heart to know that Ruby has cried so much over opportunities that have been swept from underneath her, and the rug has been pulled out from underneath her when she least expected it to. I love her so much. And I love Meg Donnelly too. I love her and the portrayal of that character Addison. It broke my heart when she got cut from being Supergirl in the Superman movie. I was going to go see Superman this month, but I chose to go see Fantastic Four this Friday over Superman because Meg Donnelly is not in the movie Superman. Your movie sucks. It wouldn't have sucked if Meg Donnelly would have been Supergirl over Millie Alcott. But because I have to settle for Millie Alcott now as Supergirl, and having been the biggest Superman fan all of my life, I don't necessarily know how I feel about Millie Alcott now as Supergirl. But I did love Melissa Benoist in the TV series Supergirl years ago. When Supergirl finished, I believe, in 2015, my heart was broken. My heart was broken because Supergirl was such a phenomenal TV series. Every episode of it was great, and I think that Meg Donnelly would have been as equally as impressive as Supergirl on the TV series and in the movie, but Millie Alcott stole that from me. There's a lot of conversation, too, about Sabrina Carpenter portraying Rapunzel in the live-action Tangled. And that really breaks my heart, too, because there's way too much emphasis on Sabrina Carpenter. Why is everybody talking about Sabrina Carpenter the way they are? Somebody please explain that to me. I think Ruby Rose Turner would be a far better portrayal of Rapunzel in Tangled. And the thing about Ruby is Ruby wants so badly to play Rapunzel. When she was asked the question of What character would you rather play rather than your own in Descendants? Let me rephrase that for you. Let me see if I can do it like a reporter. Hi, Ruby. Other than your own character in Descendants, what princess would you love to portray? And then she paused and she thought about it for a moment. She said, I'm going to do it, Rapunzel. And I thought that was incredibly adorable. But everybody keeps going back to the conversation about Sabrina Carpenter because Sabrina Carpenter's hot. Sabrina Carpenter can sing. Sabrina Carpenter can act. And sure, she can act. She did a phenomenal job as Maya on Girl Meets World. I love the spin-off series Boy Meets World. I've done stuff with Boy Meets World in the past, so I love Girl Meets World just as much. The first time I got to see that was in 2014. I sat down with one of my friend's nieces and I watched Girl Meets World for the first time ever when I was halfway across this island on some other part of the world that I didn't want to be on, some continent. And I watched Girl Meets World for the first time and I thought Sabrina Carpenter was incredibly talented. And to this day, I still think Sabrina Carpenter is incredibly talented, but she is way overrated. She is way beyond overrated. And I think that Ruby Rose Turner would be just a more beautiful representation of Rapunzel. I would love to see Ruby Rose Turner singing songs like Wind in My Hair and Now I Can See the Light. There's just something about, I'm going to have a million girls hitting my subscribe button. There is just something about that song, Now I Can See the Light, when they're out in that boat entangled and they're looking up at the fireflies when they light up the sky, and it takes my breath away every single time. I love when Rapunzel looks into Eugene's eyes and she looks at him and she says, are you starting to understand now, Eugene? And he responds by just simply saying, I'm starting to. And then the whole sky lights up. And you girls are saying, holy shit, I'm hitting your subscribe button. We got to get you in as the Prince in Descendants. Well, if you would kindly hit my subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. But I'm going to kind of need like 50 million likes and 50 million subscribers to even be casted or considered to be a part of the cast of Descendants. There's just something about my voice being attached to the Descendants franchise, is it not? I love talking about it for each and every one of you. I've seen all the Disney classics like Beauty and the Beast, Tangled, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty was a beautiful movie. On her 16th birthday, Aurora will stab her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall into a deep sleep. And then months later, she was awakened by Prince Philip. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. There's just something about these Disney classics that I can never seem to get enough of. Every once in a while on my Facebook page, I'll see traditional Disney animation from Frozen and The Little Mermaid and Tangled popping up, and I always share stuff from Rapunzel. If I have any Tangled fans watching these videos, you're more than welcome to subscribe too. I was always a big Phineas and Ferb fan too. There was just something of building a invention every day for summer vacation, of the 90 days of summer vacation that you have, or 60 days, whatever it is, that seemed very enthusiastic and somewhat exuberant to me. I always wanted to build a roller coaster in my backyard. And I know there are girls who are subscribed to this YouTube channel that are expecting me to build a roller coaster in my backyard any day. There's a lot that goes with that, girls. I gotta find a contractor to build it before I attempt it. And it is very dangerous. So you're going to have to give me some more time. But while you give me time, you could hit my subscribe button. Man, the music in Descendants, The Rise of Red was beautiful. I hope they make a remix to the Life is Sweeter When You Are song, and hopefully by the time Descendants 6 is filmed, and they make a remix for the Life is Sweeter When You Are song, I'm sure that will just as a catchy song in the Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland score and soundtrack, but I really wish they would make a remix to that song, and if not the remix to Life is Sweeter When You Are, I think I would go for a remix of Rotten to the Core or Ways to Be Wicked, because Ways to Be Wicked was a great way of opening up Descendants 2, and how they shot that music video in front of that castle. Oh my God, that was beautiful. That inspired me to want to move to Romania and build a Romanian castle, where it is actually the cheapest to construct a Romanian castle. Actually, in Romania, you have to go through Transylvania, and then, I would just love to do that. There was just something about Descendants that was just so elegant. The dresses, the costumes, the way they were perceived. But I know the Disney princess image is really flawless and seemingly perfect. I had a friend who could not stand watching Disney princess classics like Beauty and the Beast and seeing how pretty these princesses were. And I ultimately thought she was crazy, because what girl out there doesn't want to live the life of Belle? What girl out there doesn't want to live the life of Rapunzel? I mean, Ruby Rose Turner herself said she wanted to be the live-action Rapunzel. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't ever see anything wrong with a little girl believing that dreams can come true. And that's what I wanted to achieve on this show. I've wanted to put out a message of kindness on this YouTube channel. I've always wanted to put out a message of kindness being possible to every single person who ever watched this show. I really have. And I feel as if I haven't put out a message of kindness on this show, then I feel like I've let myself down, and I've let every single person down who may have watched this show. I've always wanted to be here for you. I've always loved each and every one of you so much for your passions for Descendants and Zombies. My favorite songs from the Descendants scores have to be Life is Sweeter When You Were, Ways to Be Wicked, Rotten to the Core is another good one. That was the first song, I believe, that introduced us to what Descendants was going to be all about and offered us some explanation into the backstories of the character. Space Between was a good one too, but the way that Dove Cameron started referring to that song when she got off a script with Disney and started doing interviews outside of Disney, I didn't necessarily agree with that. I mean, if Dove Cameron wanted to come out and announce that she was bisexual to the world, that's one way of looking at it, but she didn't have to, tie in her past as Mal and how Space Between was a gay song. I thought that was pretty ridiculous. If people see themselves differently through the song Space Between, that is their choice, but I think that Descendants music needs to be left out of Dove Cameron's opinion now, because her music now is very different from what she was, because she's reinventing herself, she's reintroducing herself, like Sabrina Carpenter is reintroducing herself. The thing that I love about Ruby and Kylie so much is they haven't reintroduced themselves one bit. Their Descendants fame obviously has excelled to the heights of unprecedentedness, but they haven't reintroduced themselves or reinvented themselves yet. Now, I'm not saying they won't, but Ruby's music is still the same from 15 years ago. Ruby Rock and Mirror for Disney Channel were great songs, great music videos, great collaborations. But there's just something about Ruby's voice on a song like Life is Sweeter When You Are that really gets me every single time. I don't think anyone could sing it any better than what they did. I know Freya Sky tried to do it in the Worlds Collide tour, but nobody sings it as good as what Ruby does. She did a fabulous job with every song that she had the responsibility of singing, from Someday to Life is Sweeter When You Are, but I just think that Ruby's voice is incredibly satisfying and is something that I miss from the Descendants franchise, which is why if I was the writer or producer of this, I would do everything within my power to still Ruby's voice in these songs and to get her back as part of the Descendants franchise, because I miss her dearly. I will forever and always miss Ruby Rose Turner. I will forever and always support Ruby Rose Turner, and I will forever and always support this new cast, because I know that people have really come down hard on this cast. It is beyond me why they have done it. In my mind, I think that this Descendants cast is probably the best that we have seen in a really long time. Because it seemed to me like Dove Cameron and Sophia Carson were just there for the sake of being there. Sophia Carson looked at it as an opportunity to broaden her horizons. And I believe at any given moment, if an opportunity would have presented itself, she would have been gone just as fast as you could snap your fingers. The same thing can be said about Dove Cameron. The same logic applies. But in every interview that Kylie Cantrell does outside of Descendants promoting this, she always says that she's always loved Descendants. She'll be singing Descendants songs when she's 40 years old and still be a part of the franchise. Because she appreciates how much of an honor it is to work alongside icons like Rita Ora and Brandy. I mean, you only get that once in a lifetime. I've never had the opportunity to work along such icons like Brandy and Rita Ora, so she recognized the opportunity. Even Ruby recognized the opportunity, because she just felt like it was a huge honor to be in the same hallway and the presence of Rita Ora and Brandy, and she didn't even work in as many scenes with them as what Kylie Cantrell did in the 90-minute movie. And as far as people saying that you can tell a story in 90 minutes and complete it, and what's said is said, and what's done is done, and what happened has happened, I don't believe that. Because you can't tell a story in 90 minutes and complete it. You just can't. You have to give more of an expansion, more of an explanation as to why things happened the way they did. I mean, you take zombies. I mean, 3 zombies movies wasn't going to explain the origin of every supernatural character, from vampires to witches to aliens to werewolves to zombies. I mean, there is so much of an ancient history that ties into zombies alone. Forgetting anything having to do with vampires, werewolves, aliens, and now mermaids and witches, which I think is going to be incredibly amazing when it happens by the time we get to Zombies 5, whatever the title is. Whatever's in that vortex looks quite intriguing, and I'm really excited to see where we go from here with that. And by the time we see Zombies 5, release window suggesting 2027 release, I'm really looking forward to it. I really am. I expect any night to be watching a movie or playing a video game, and then I see the trailer for Zombies 5, and I'm really excited about it with the date circled on my calendar to watch it, like I was for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires. Man, weeks leading up to this premiere, I was so excited. I moved into a house near a chemical plant and a soda plantation because I wanted to live the whole zombies experience, because I thought talking about it wasn't nearly as effective. And now I have to jump off this podcast and go get something to eat because I haven't eaten in a few hours. And then I'm going to jump back on this podcast and offer you some thoughts on it again before the sun sets this evening. As long as you girls keep hitting my like button and my subscribe button, I will always keep coming back with an opinion for you on Descendants and Zombies, because I do believe that every dream out there is possible. As I said here earlier, if you want to join the volleyball team, do a few extra squats and do a few extra push-ups and you'll make it. If you want to be a ballerina, join a dance studio and really push yourself to your physical limit. Believe you me, you can do it. If you want to join the cheerleading squad, you can do that too, because there are some really athletic and very talented girls out there that don't even realize the potential they have until they really broaden their horizons and open up to their fullest potential and open up their hearts to see what they can do. Because inside your heart, you will find your best friend, and your heart is really your key with all your answers to all your uncertainty in life. Believe you me, all you have to do is trust in the fact that your friend is your best friend is your heart, is the word I'm searching for. And kindness really does go a long way in this world. Forgive me, I think that we don't see enough kindness in this world or enough kind people. And I think that the more kindness that we can offer somebody, especially when they need it more than others sometimes, it is a really big difference and a really big impact, a significant impact that we can make and forever leave on somebody's heart, honestly. I love creating these videos for each and every one of you. I never ever thought this YouTube channel would see 100 subscribers, much less 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 subscribers like it has. I know there's somebody out there that's probably thinking about hitting my subscribe button, and I really believe that you should. Regardless if you love these videos, regardless if you just love hearing my voice, whatever it is, hit the subscribe button, because I know there is just something significant about my voice being tied into the Descendants franchise, is it not? I mean, I'm really just a loser who plays video games and records YouTube videos full time because he understands and appreciates the value of the Descendants and Zombies franchises. I am a person who would love to purchase the Descendants franchise as a whole and create for it if I had the money. Because I know how much it means to each and every one of you, and I just never ever wanted to take away the chance, even the slightest chance that you may have had in your heart of anything ever being possible. And that includes finding your true love, happily ever after existing forever, fairy tales existing, every favorite fairy tale character of yours being real, and every dream being possible, which is why the words of Clarke every dream is possible, opening up the Worlds Collide tour. Oh, I am forever thankful she stole that quote from this show, which indicates to me, without a shadow of a doubt or there being any doubt in my mind, that Clarke must watch this show. She must. And she's given me incentive to create more videos for each and every one of you, because believe you me, there is no place in the world I would rather be than having the honor and the privilege of being able to sit behind this podcast microphone and critique Descendants for each and every one of you. And all you got to do is hit the subscribe or the like button, and I will create another Descendants or Zombies video for you and upload it when I have the time, because there's no greater feeling in this world than knowing that some little girl out there loves your videos for Descendants and Zombies when you have the time to upload them to your YouTube channel, which is an honor that has been bestowed upon me, and I just want to give you my best. I want to give you an immersive experience in Descendants where you can leave comments, where you can hit the like button, where you can hit the subscribe button. And as long as somebody continues to hit my subscribe button, I will always keep coming back for each and every one of you, because the Descendants and Zombies videos that I have been seeing on YouTube really aren't living up to my criteria or my level. Because if you're going to hear a commentary on Descendants, if someone is going to drop a commentary about Descendants or Zombies on their YouTube channel, well, from where I choose to look at it, from my perspective, they need to give you something far better than what you've been watching on YouTube, because you have deserved to hear far better for far long enough now. And I've really just wanted to give that to you because it's something that will forever hold a special place in my heart, because Clarke and Ruby Rose Turner mean so much to me, and I like to believe that they mean so much to you. And that's why I've uploaded 5-6 videos on this YouTube channel today, because I recognize the popularity of the franchise as a whole. I know what people are doing to it. They are torching it. And I don't want to see anybody torch Descendants, especially with this franchise still having such a long way to go. There is so much of a chance to create with this. There is so much of an expansion that could be offered off of the success of the Descendants franchise. All the characters we have already seen, all the characters we have yet to see come in and mix things up in the Wonderland saga of Descendants, if you would. Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland looks like a really interesting title. I am really excited to see where we go from here with this, and if we will see Descendants 6. I know we will see Descendants 6 because the first Descendants trilogy got a trilogy, so why can't this one have one as well? Never believe what the other critics on YouTube are saying to you, because they are just telling you what they want you to see and what they want you to hear. And they are telling you that we've seen the end of Descendants, and I'm telling you, well, I'm telling you different, if anything, because we are far from seeing this story having seen its completion and its end. So if you get a moment, please hit my subscribe button and spread your own message of kindness. I will be back later on sometime tonight. I hope you can join me for my next video. Bye, YouTube. I love you all so much. We will do this again in a couple of hours from now.